disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fifth Kicks and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me as always, my podcast partner, Joe Hartley. What's up, man? I cannot hear you. Your sound just went out. We were literally just talking, and now I can't hear you. Let me go ahead and continue with the intro. If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Tuesdays, you got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Thursdays is a Fifth Kicks and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. Every other Wednesday, we got the Traditional Way with Brett Shumway. And once a month, we got the Extra Scoop with Peyton and Jeff. For more information, just check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Joe, it's showtime. What's up, man? Nope. Yeah, your volume is going, which is crazy. Yeah, it looked like you're muted, man. Which is crazy because we were literally just talking. You did not do anything at all, and then all of a sudden your volume just drops out. I can see the little microphone that says you're muted somehow. So I have no idea what happened. There you go. You're unmuted, but
I don't even know what. I must have hit it. Something.
Now I can hear you, but guess what? You sound like you're talking to me on the telephone.
Oh, come on. I don't even know what's happening with this doggone thing. You know, you get a new toy and I think you know how to use it, and I have no freaking clue.
That's crazy because we literally were just talking and I just hit record and your volume goes out, and now it sounds like you are on the phone talking to me. That's crazy.
I wonder if StreamYard switched my. Let's see. Yep, they switched my mic. Let's try. How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, you're back. You're back. Perfect.
They were having you go through the headphones.
Wonder why
I don't know why.
Like that.
I must. Cause my mic cut off, and then they switched over, and they didn't switch back on their own. I guess. Even though I plugged the mic, I took unplugged. Anyhow, I'm here. It's all good.
So let me first tell everyone about Angel. So Angel right now is he just opened up his second school with his brother and his dad, and Angel is pretty much running the second school by himself. So he is really, really busy. Plus, he's a high school teacher, and he is getting ready for some competitions coming up. So Angel is really, really busy. So Angel is going to be MIA for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So it'll just be Joe and I doing the show. So Angel, he and I talked this afternoon. I told him I get it, man. It's not easy running a school by yourself when you have to do everything. So I feel your pain, brother. I know exactly what you're going through. So.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I can't even imagine. Like I said, you and I were talking earlier, and like my head is spinning now, and I'm not even fully into the meat of like everything, with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like every kid has 2 or more activities, and my son still has archery to come. He's got. So as far as the plays go, my son's school does a musical and then a play. My daughter's school in high school, they go backwards. They do the play and then they do the musical in the winter. So they're both getting ready for that now.
Of the same play? I mean, of the same.
No, because one's in junior high. So
No, I'm talking about the play and the musical. So, like, say the Wizard of Oz. Do they do the play version of the Wizard of Oz? And then
no. So it's 2 different plays. So the musical is separate from the play. So they'll pick, like, my son's musical is The Lion King. They haven't picked the play yet. I don't know what to play. It's always something pretty, like last year it was like a messed up fairy tale. And he got a pretty big part in that one. He was on stage pretty much all but 2 scenes on that one. But he don't like to sing. He don't like to sing. Like my daughter's the opposite. She likes to act and sing. He just wants to act.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on stage like Northwest, Kanye's daughter.
Nah. Because I'm trying to get him to pick. I think because he likes to do. He's got a buddy, Joey. They did the last play they did together, and they were, they had roles that they were pretty much on stage together the whole time. And so he's looking for something like that. And I told him, why don't you try Timon and Pumbaa? But then he's like, okay, but don't they have a song? I'm like, yeah, but it's Hakuna Matata. I was like, it's not like they're belting it. They're just two. Simba sings most of the Hakuna Matata. Timon and Pumbaa just are the backup. So I was
he wants to be. Does he want to be that? What's that? A toucan? That bird? Is that what he wants to be? He wants to be the bird.
He would actually probably, because that's little brother all day. He's the annoying little brother in this family, and he plays his role well. Like the other day, I watched him just poking at both his sisters, and I looked at him, and he just gave me this devilish little smile. I was like, why are you such an instigator? And he just shrugged his shoulders, and I'm like, he knows what he's doing. He likes to start stuff. And I tell his sisters all the time, like, don't fuel that fire, because he likes that. He wants to get under your skin, and they fall for it 9 times out of 10. I'm like, don't let little brother get to you. Like, he's gonna do this. He's better at it. Okay. He's just a boy, and he's a little brother all day. But he's a good kid for the most part. He just, when it comes to his sisters, man, he just wants to annoy them until they break. So
I get it.
So yeah, he's got all that. He's doing drums. He's having a lot of fun with that. Layla's doing marching band, and so she's got something on the weekend. She's got something most every Friday. They got homecoming coming up, so the girls are getting ready for homecoming. Layla, this will be Ava's 3rd, Layla's 1st. And, they're showing the dresses, and I'm like, good God, where's the time go, man? I got a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old, and, they want to get all dressed up and go out with their friends. And I'm like, man, like, my wife's like talking like, I don't even think she went to the school dances till like junior year. And I don't think I did freshman year. I had too many tournaments going on, but I think I did like 10th grade and on. I think I went to most of the dances.
No, I didn't do any of that stuff in high school. I didn't do any of it.
Why not? You too cool? Too cool?
No, man. It wasn't that. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I went to the high school that I went to was a gangster high school, right? And
yeah, I've heard some stories. So
I just didn't want to be in. I didn't want to put myself in certain environments and be in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, man, one time, I think I told you the story before, man. Me and Ski were supposed to go to a party one time. And Ski was supposed to come get me, and he didn't come. And this is back when we didn't have cell phones. So I couldn't call him. There was no way of me getting in contact with him. And he did not think that I was going to be able to go to the party, right? So he didn't come by to get me. And we talked the next day. I said, man, what happened? My parents said I can go to the party. He was like, man, it's a good thing you didn't go, man. He was like, it was shooting. There was only one way in and one way out. So he was like, yeah, he was just like, it's a good thing you didn't show up. So there's a lot of times, a lot of situations like that kind of could pop off, in the park. And I just didn't want to be around that type of environment. And because I would be the one, you know what I'm saying? I would be the one to catch a straight one. Because I'm not going to be in any serious altercations with anybody, but stuff used to just happen all the time, man. After school, the high school I went to, man, stuff happened all the time. Like, I remember one time, one guy did a drive-by from the bus. He's on a bus, and he's doing a drive-by. He just shot into a crowd of people, and he ended up killing a member of the football team. And the crazy thing is, I knew both people. And he wasn't even trying to shoot the person that got shot. He was shooting at someone else.
What did the bus driver like stop the bus?
I
what do
can't
you
remember
even do
what
in
happened.
That situation?
I was across the street. I was across the street when that happened. And after school, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of parents picking their kids up, kids getting out of school, people getting on buses, people walking home. So a lot of stuff was going on outside of the high school at that time. So I was across the street at the bus stop. So I didn't find out about what had happened until I got home, and it was all over the news at this time.
I bet.
So I don't, and like I said, I don't remember. I just remember going back to school the next day, and it was just somber. It was just somber, man. It was just a sad situation, man. For both of those guys. So
okay. So yeah, between my wife and I, it's so much. I hate driving. I can't wait till my daughter can drive. It's like, and it's sometimes I'm like, would I rather drive a long distance and then hang out somewhere for an hour and then drive back, or in this case, I'm literally just driving to the same place back and forth.
And how long do you sit
go
there?
To the school?
2 hours.
Go to the school. No, I don't sit there because I go back home. But
okay.
It's 20-minute drive in traffic, and then you come back home, and then I gotta go pick her up 2 to 3 hours, and it's literally like today, like it was funny because like my wife had to leave her job, then she went and dropped the one off. She came home, they had dinner, dropped her off. She had conferences at her school, so she did that, or curriculum night. Yeah, curriculum night.
Okay.
And then I had to go and pick Ava up from her activity and bring her back home. And then take Aiden over here and come back home. And then she comes back home, and now at 8 o'clock, it's like, dang, like we're literally I feel like we're just driving in one big circle for about 3 hours. It's crazy. It's what you got to do.
And you messed up about that. Well, honestly, for you, it can be kind of good because you don't have the weekends off. You have Tuesday and Wednesday off, right?
Yeah.
So tomorrow you get the rest and not do anything for a little while everybody's at work and school. You get some alone time, But sometimes when you have that weekend off after you're ripping and running all week, and you got the weekend off, you don't want to do anything. But the kids and the wife do. And they're looking at you like, come on, let's go somewhere, let's get up off the couch. And you just want to just sit on the couch and recuperate and rest. And they try and take that away from you. I know that.
Preaching to the choir, bro. I look like the biggest a-hole sometimes, but I'm like, that's how I feel. I'm like, I just don't want to go anywhere. I just want to come home. But that's also when we do all our family stuff. So it's like, if we're not doing family stuff, then the wife's like, oh, we should go over here. We should go. I'm like, no, we should stay home, right where it's nice and cozy.
Right. Especially now it's football season. It's football
right?
season. So
that's what I'm saying.
You definitely don't want to go anywhere, But
I know. See, I can't even.
I feel your pain, but what makes it a little bit more of a challenge for me than for you is Melissa works remotely. So she's home all week. So for her, she's ready to get out on the weekend. I'm the reverse. I'm out all week visiting my retailers, visiting my stores, training, talking to them, talking about promotions or training them on a new product or a new sale or something like that. So I'm out going from store to store to store all week. So I don't want to drive or want to go anywhere on the weekend. I kind of want to stay home. So, sometimes, so that's when the compromising has to come into play,
Hey, she's got it down pat. Like she knows how and when to approach me about everything. And so, we got our own little system worked out how I can, get my rest and still contribute to the family and vice versa. And her family knows, like, we're not going to, if you start something at 3, we're not going to be there till earliest, probably 4:30, because I get home at 3.
Oh, from work?
So I still got it. Yeah. So, her mom is 20 minutes away. Her dad's 30 minutes away. So I got to pop in the shower. More than likely, I want a cup of coffee or something to, bring me back to life, and then we can go. So other than that, Lions won. I ain't going to talk about Michigan today, but that's okay. I was hoping for a better game. But, the offense is just trash. They're just.
I'm not surprised,
trash.
Man. I mean, at the end of last year, I knew what it was going to be this year. Our school is, every school can't be like, I don't know how these other schools like Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State do it every single year. I don't understand, because they're consistently.
They must be offering the world to these people, because I don't know either, man.
Yeah, because you would think like, okay, players leave at the end of the year, seniors leave, you get new quarterbacks. How can these other schools still stay at the top? You never see like a rebuilding time with these other schools, which is always weird to me. I don't understand it. I mean, it could be just some great recruiting, but I don't know, man. It seems odd that those schools never drop down. They always are still somewhere hovering around the top 4 positions.
Yep. And then, it's so funny to me because we go out and lose one game to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC champs, the number 3 team. They could win the whole thing this year. And everyone's like, yeah, see what happens when you don't cheat.
I'm so tired of hearing about this cheat thing because, listen. You're not going to convince me that it's okay to steal signs if you're looking at a video or a monitor or a computer, whatever. But in person, it's wrong. That's supposedly what they were doing. And you're not going to convince me that no other team does it. Michigan was the only team that, no, I don't buy that. I don't buy it at all that no other team did that.
We got picked out because of Crybaby. So that's all there is to it.
Yeah. And Michigan has haters. Michigan has haters also.
No, there's a bunch out there. But, that's neither here nor there. I don't care. I had a up and down fantasy week too. So, But my Lions won. That was my favorite thing of the whole weekend, man. Did you make it up for the whole game, or did you have to watch
the whole game? Yeah, I saw the whole game, and I actually thought they were about to lose. I was like, man, I can't believe we're about to lose to Stafford. That's what I said. I can't believe we're about to lose to Stafford.
And he would have been so happy. But when they won that coin toss and they panned over to Dan Campbell, the look on his face, you knew exactly we all knew what they were going to do. I'm like, David Montgomery's about to get the rock about 20 times, and the Goff will pass a couple of screen passes, and they're going to pound it in. Game over. That defense is tired. Our line is fresh. Like that, and that's what they did. They ran right over the line. They ran right over the defense.
That's going to be a dangerous situation for any team because Montgomery played the first quarter, and I don't really remember him playing the second or third quarter. It was Gibbs for the most part.
It was a back and forth. Last year Gibbs was more of a change of pace. Mm-hmm. This year it's like, okay, this is a Montgomery drive, this is a Gibbs drive. They didn't take him out, even though Montgomery's better in the red
because zone. It seemed like Montgomery. It seemed like he was fresh. It seemed like he was not tired at all.
He looked like he was shot out of a cannon. He just chunk play after chunk play. I was like, this game's over. I looked right at my wife and said, you know what? I could turn this off if I wanted to. This game's over. I was like, you can't. He was running over people, and it was just hilarious to watch. And I was like, and Stafford was just so.
Once again, he's not a good quarterback when it comes to the red zone. I don't care what nobody says. He has some challenges when it comes to being in the red zone and trying to complete a pass. I know my brother probably, disagree with that, but I don't care.
Trev always wanted to disagree. How you been, man? What you been up to?
Man, so everything's been cool, man. Everything's been cool. The renovation of the house has been going good, man. So a few weeks ago, we bought a new stove, right? And Mel, she wanted an electric stove, even though the house was geared for a gas stove. She wanted an electric stove. So we went out, we bought it. They delivered it, and they couldn't install it because it was electric, and our outlet was not.
You gotta change. You gotta get the new outlet. Yeah, you got.
Yeah, so I had to hire an electrician to come to put a new outlet in. So it was about a week or two for the electrician to come out. So he came out and did that, and he got some other stuff he's going to do. So we got the new stove situated. Next thing we're going to do is get a new refrigerator. And then we got to start making some adjustments because our old refrigerator is going to go on. It's going to go in either the garage or on our back patio. That's where the old refrigerator is going to go. We also have deep freezer that's going to either stay in the kitchen or go in the basement, and then the new one is going to go in the kitchen. But you know, the electrician, he's not just he does more. He's also a plumber and a lot of home improvement stuff. So I told him, I was like, I got a lot of work for you here to do with this at this house. So yeah, I was like, you're gonna get to know us very, very well, man, because it's a lot
bet he
of
like
stuff.
that, huh?
Yeah, man. So you know, he's supposed to come back this week and put this new faucet on the kitchen sink that I have, and then I also got a leaky sink up in the bathroom upstairs that he's going to do. And I told him, man, we're just going to keep on going. It's going to be, before I'm completely satisfied with the house, it's probably going to be a year of just project after project after project after project. So we got that going on, man. The school is going cool, man. Just got home, just got done teaching the green and blue belts, and also the red and black belt classes were tonight. So those kids are doing fine. The red belts, we're trying to prepare them now to get ready for their black belt test. Now they got 2 years for their black belt test, so they still have to go through all of the stages of red belt, but some of them have to get focused mentally. So that's what we've been working on. And luckily, the black belt, the new black belts that I have, they've been helping out with that and letting them know, like, this test is not going to be easy. Mr. Plowden is going to put you guys through it, because I told him, like, I'm not going to put a black belt on you and then have you walk around saying you represent the black belt system. I mean, the Plowden system, because you're just not representing jump kick. If you say you got a black belt from Plowden, it's like people are going to expect you to be a particular way, you know, coming from our system, you know. So some of these red belts who are a little young and acting silly, I'm whipping them into shape. So that's what we're doing. Also, we got a tournament coming up this weekend in Battle Creek. So we're getting ready for that tournament also. Work has been cool. This is beginning to be our busy time of the year. So we got a lot of promotions going on for work. So I need to find a time to make it out to Indianapolis. Hopefully sometime in October, I can get away, go out there for 2 or 3 days to go out there and work on my stores out there. Still got to get my car fixed. The car's still not fixed. So that'll probably be done in a couple weeks. You know, other things are a little bit of a priority right now. So me and Mel are sharing a car. And I've been, picking DJ up from school. So, and I'm still in physical therapy. So
saying no to the physical therapy.
I thought I was going to be done with physical therapy. Last week was going to be my last week. And they were like, no, it's still not done yet. And I'm like, damn. So I'm still doing that, which, man, it just makes it hard to work, you know. So now, at least this week, one thing that's cool was I was able to, you know, before they were just kind of giving me my time for therapy, right? You know, they'll say, come here at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. No, last week I said, no. I'm picking my times. I want it first thing in the morning. So after I drop DJ off at school, I just go right to therapy at 9:30, get that out the way, get it over with. And sometimes I actually show up a little bit early, just, you know, go in there a little early so I can get out early, so I can get to work, so I can finish with work, and then stop working, go pick up DJ from school, drop her off back home, and then, you know, finish the rest of my day. So, you know, I'm always busy moving. But it's still cool. It's all working out for me and Melissa. Been focusing on my comics now also, and I'm really excited about it because before I was just doing jump kick. This time I have some more comics that I'm going to do, because sometimes you can have an idea in your head, but the idea does not fit the comic that you want it to be in, you know. So I had an idea, so I have other comics now that I'm gonna put that creative idea in and come up with something else for Jump Geek. So so that's all working out fine. Like I told you last week, I'm redoing my old strips because I wanted to, you know, the art to look better. Some of it's a little bit dated or whatever, so I just want to, you know, just switch it up and you know, make it a little bit nicer. So yeah, man. So everything that's been my week, man. Everything's going good, going better, man. So
sounds good.
All right, so let's talk about the movie Passenger 57. I was surprised to hear you say that you didn't think you saw this movie before.
If I did, it was a while ago, and I was looking, it's 2020, so I mean, it's not an older movie.
Oh yeah,
I just don't know. It said 2020 on mine.
Hope you watched the right movie, because this movie came out in '92. This was Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes on a plane with the terrorists.
Yeah. This came out in '92.
Okay, that makes more sense. So maybe I was looking at it wrong. But yeah, I don't know if I just didn't see this or I don't remember seeing it, but it was making me laugh because, I mean, this really could have been Under Siege 3 without Steven Seagal.
You know, the funny thing is this all came out around the same time, right?
I know.
This came out around the same time.
And we said, what would Under Siege 3 be on a plane?
Yes. And
I was dying. It's the same story.
So when I initially approached you with watching the Under Siege, and then I said we would do this after, it was because I watched all of these movies around the same time when they all came out together, right? The funny thing is, when you think about Wesley Snipes, you don't think of him as, of course we do. We know that he's a martial artist. But most people don't think of him as a martial artist. Like when you think about martial artists, you're going to think about Bruce Lee. You're going to think about Jean-Claude Van Damme. You're even going to think about Steven Seagal. You don't really think about Wesley Snipes too often unless you're a martial artist like us, right?
Yes.
But in this movie, he did more martial arts than Steven Seagal in both of those Under Siege movies.
I said the same thing. I was dying. I was like, what in the world are we watching? I was like, literally, like, you could just go redo the other two and put Wesley Snipes in there. It'd be great. It's crazy.
Right.
And I mean, he was doing some good martial arts, but I mean, we have basically the same story. It's you got terrorists. He's on a plane, and oh man, this is gonna come out what? Oh no, this is gonna come out Thursday. Okay,
Thursday.
I was gonna say because terrorists on a plane. It's also, you know, something that's coming up tomorrow. So
what's coming up tomorrow? I'm lost.
9/11.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Oh wow! I forgot all about that. Oh, perfect timing. Unfortunately,
right? Well, you know, this doesn't follow that, but
right.
This was a nice, simple movie, good concept, and Wesley Snipes, like we said, he did more martial arts. Like, how is it that Steven Seagal is supposed to be known for martial arts, and he, you know, it took Wesley Snipes, you know, he's lapped him between both movies.
Yeah, because there were guns in this movie, but I don't remember him shooting too many times. Like I know that he shot when he was at the carnival, he shot, but I don't really remember him shooting that gun too many times on a plane, did he?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't.
So you got Bruce Payne, who's the bad guy. He's a terrorist. They start off with him in the beginning getting plastic surgery. Apparently, someone made it sound like this is something he does.
He
does some big act of terrorism, and then he disappears, and he comes back as a new face. And somehow the SWAT has gotten a tip or something, and they arrest him before he's going to get this surgery. And the idea is, I guess the FBI is going to move him from, where are they right now? Like, do they say?
I don't remember them saying.
Maybe New York, and they're going to LA.
It was something. They're going. I believe they were going to LA because I think it was a long flight because they're taking a jumbo jet, and I've never seen a jumbo jet in real life. I've never been on one or seen one.
Yeah. So
this plane was huge.
Yes, it was massive, and it took me a minute. I didn't really understand what Wesley Snipes' character was until they explained it. But he's playing John Cutter, and it literally starts off with like a bad guy situation. And I'm going, wait a second. I was like, what did Gene have me watch here? Why is Wesley Snipes the bad guy? But come to find out, he does airplane security, anti-terrorism security. And he's training the staff how to do, and he was playing the terrorist. Now, they did show a scene where, and we find out later it's his wife who gets shot. So was he maybe a police officer or an FBI agent, and he switched over to this? They don't really explain that really well.
No, they didn't. They didn't explain it at all. And I didn't like that part. There were a couple parts of this movie I didn't like, and that's one of them. I didn't like that part because, listen, man, if somebody, I know it's nitpicking. I understand that, so don't go crazy on me right now. Not you, Joe. I'm talking about to the listeners. Don't go crazy on me.
I know. Yeah, I know.
But if somebody is robbing a liquor store, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to grab a hostage and shoot them and not take anything out of the store. That's not going to happen unless this person is extremely crazy and has mental problems. Nobody goes into a liquor store to rob it for what, $100, $200, and then still shoot someone. It didn't even make sense why he shot, Cutter's wife. He grabbed her, had the gun to her head, and then Cutter saw it, and he pulls the gun. He said freeze or whatever. He didn't know if he was a cop or just a person with a CCW, concealed weapon. He didn't know.
So, person with the CCW doesn't say freeze. They pull that gun out and shoot you.
Well, I guess, but I guess maybe. I don't know. I've never been around a situation like this, and there's been a bad guy and a normal person with a CCW. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Most, like, there's videos of, like, people, random civilians shoot, and they see a bad situation and they just start shooting. Pop, pop, pop.
But see, that's and I hate to derail the podcast for a second, but that's always been an issue that I always had when I've talked with. And me personally, I believe that you can have a CCW. I get that. But I'm also for, having some background checks because everybody doesn't need a gun.
Oh,
right?
Of course.
But imagine you are in the theater and someone starts shooting the theater and there's 5 people in there with CCWs. The first person that stands up, when you stand up also, you don't know who shot. So you see somebody standing with a gun, you might shoot somebody that also has a CCW. It's not like they announce that I have a CCW, right? And then somebody else stands up and might pull a gun. And so you could have a situation where there's just people shooting people in a movie theater, So it's a
hot mess.
Yeah, man, it's a serious situation that could go wrong for everyone, No,
you're not wrong.
So I just had an issue with this part of the movie as far as why he shot her and then ran out. That didn't make any sense to me.
I just think we needed a little clarification because it didn't really. I mean, it didn't take away from the story, but I was always wondering.
No, it didn't take away from the story, not at all.
Like, there's another story there that we're just not getting because the FBI knew him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And but it was the airline. So who was he working for? Because the airline wanted to hire him.
It seemed like he might have been a private contractor. Like they hired him to come in.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah. And
do some because remember when he ended up going to that little town, he told them that he was a former security guard or security agent or security something for the airline.
Yeah.
But before he got on that plane, he took a new job as vice president or something. Vice president of security, vice president of something. I didn't write a note down to what that position was. So he could have worked for the FBI. We don't know. They, like you said, Joe, they didn't really explain his past position.
Yeah, they didn't really give a great explanation, but I mean, he was good at his job. He really showed all that. And the funny thing to me is, so part of the training, he ends up on this plane and he ends up with the FBI and the terrorists. And then there was a girl that kind of was getting a little snotty with him at the training. And of course, she's one of the flight attendants on his flight.
Yeah, of course.
And the funny thing to me is, just like the Under Siege movies, we get the same thing. We get terrorists, this time a plane, not a boat, not a train, and then we get a civilian who's helping out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just, I mean, I get it. It's a movie, but
that seemed like to be the theme in the early 90s.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but if Wesley Snipes or Steven Seagal's like, hey, I'm gonna need you to go over here. I'm be like, no, man, I'm gonna sit here and wait to not die. You got the training. You got this, bro.
Yeah, you know what was crazy about these terrorists also was they were killing people randomly. And there should have been some other times where they killed other people and they didn't, and that didn't make sense to me. If you're making these guys seem like, because he killed, then he killed his plastic surgeon.
Yeah, he killed the plastic surgeon, but did he know? It's like he knew SWAT was coming, but he, like, I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, because I didn't understand. Like, okay, so he's sitting in a chair before the FBI gets him and arrests him. He's sitting like at the beginning of the movie. He's sitting in a chair, getting ready to get plastic surgery. He doesn't let them put him under. He asks for the time. Then he gets up and he kills his doctor. That didn't make any sense. Then he runs out and the FBI ends up catching up with him. And it was like a raid and they catch him. And then that's how we get to this position now where they're going to take him, I guess, to jail somewhere. But they're put him on the plane.
Must have been the plan the whole time, because then he gets to the plane. He's got workers on the plane that are with his crew. He's got people that were on the plane that are part of his crew. So, I mean, really, the only one that wasn't a part of his crew was the girl who got snotty with Cutter.
Yeah. And then she ended up telling one of the girls that, well, this is John Cutter. He's one of our airline security.
Oh,
so now they know. So now they know that there's somebody from the airline on the plane.
Her name is Alex, and then Elizabeth Hurley plays the one you're talking about, Sabrina. She's one of the undercover bad guys.
Yeah.
Which, man, she was in the second Austin Powers, and I think that was 91, maybe 92. So this might have been before that. No, that one might have been 94.
Yeah, this is before Austin Powers.
So yeah, I always thought, because Austin Powers to me was kind of when she got the big role there, and then she kind of took off after that.
Okay.
And then she hasn't really been around lately, but she's on Instagram a lot.
Okay.
She did a lot of other movies after that. Heather Graham, same thing with her, man. It's like all these random people, just these stupid Austin Powers movies. I love those movies. My kids, I use references from all the time. My kids look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, but they won't watch it.
I couldn't get through that movie, man. I couldn't get through it.
What?
I couldn't get through it. You talk about our other friend Ski. Ski walked out of the movie theater.
Really?
It was funny because I was working at a movie theater, when we were in college, and I had some free passes and I gave it to him, and then he went there and watched the movie, and then he came back out like 20 minutes later. I was like, "What are you doing? Like, what happened in the theater?" He was like, "I can't do it. I can't sit through this. I can't do it." So
you don't like a good spoof film? You don't like a good spoof film?
I do. I don't mind them, but I just, I like Mike Myers when he did Wayne's World. That was cool, but when he did this, I just couldn't get into it.
Oh, Wayne's World is definitely way better. That's another one I reference all the time. Again, my kids just want me to be old. I don't care. All their new lingo and some of their dumb music, I'm just like, I don't care. I'm gonna stay old.
I'm the same way. Yeah, I'm the same way.
So the funny thing is, he tells Alex he doesn't really like to fly. How are you airline security and you don't like to fly?
Mm-hmm. That was weird. That was weird. And then and what she does next was pretty funny.
Well, the weird thing is, so he wants to like be knocked out, but he wants her to come check on him.
Mm-hmm.
So she puts this old lady next to him, and she told the old lady he was Arsenio Hall.
Yes.
I was like, when she started talking, I'm like, who does she think he is? And then I go, oh my God, she thinks he's Arsenio.
I bet Arsenio loved that back in the day, because that would have been so random. Can you imagine going to the movie and you're Arsenio Hall and you see that part? That had to be funny for him.
I'm telling you, you know what? when I used to work at the nursing home, I had this gentleman who he was already high level Alzheimer's. So he used to think everybody that worked there was famous. And so you could like walk by and be like, you know, I'd tell him, oh, he'd be like, you play basketball? Yeah, man, I play for the Pistons. I'm Bill Lambier. You know, and he just loved it. He thought he got a kick out of it every time. And it just used to make me laugh. And then he would tell all the girls he was a famous movie producer and he was going to put them in movies. So, I mean, he always had fun with it. So
yeah,
that makes me laugh. But yeah, that old lady, he had to get away from her because she would not shut up.
Yeah.
So he went to the bathroom, and of course, he goes to the bathroom right when the terrorists make their move.
Yes. And this was another part that was weird to me also. Well, no. It worked out fine. No, my bad. Let me take that back. That worked out. I was thinking it because when he's in the bathroom and then he hears the commotion going on, and he grabs a phone to calls this boy who is, you know, who hired him to work for the airline. He calls him and to tell him that, you know, there's a problem on the plane. And then a guy comes back there to get him out of the bathroom, and then they start fighting. And if you look in the background, you see people looking in their direction. And I was like, man, these people, they don't see what's going on. They're not going to say anything. They're not screaming or nothing. The terrorists don't hear this. They don't hear this. But then they showed them coming to the back. But as that was happening, I was like, well, this part was about to be stupid to me. But it all worked out.
Yeah, you know, and I kind of liked it because it was a little different than what you normally see in these kind of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of him like sneaking around and kind of not making his presence known, like he let him know right away, I'm here and I'm going to mess you up.
Mm-hmm.
But he had to be a little more strategic about it because he popped out with old dude, and then he had a hostage already, and he grabbed another hostage right away. So he kind of showed his position. I agree.
Because what's the bad guy's name again? What was his name again?
It is Brady or something like that. Come on, it's not showing me. So I usually like. Oh, here it is. Bruce Payne.
So Payne has the airline attendant. He has it. He pushes her to the side and grabs a passenger. And has the
but he pushed her and gave her to his girl that was on his side.
Sabrina. Sabrina.
Yes. And
so then he grabs a random passenger. And he asked him, you know, if he has a family and all this stuff. And the guy says, yeah. And he said, well, they had a father. And then he just shoots him. And it's like, well, why didn't you just do that to the stewardess? Why didn't you shoot her? Why grab somebody else?
He wanted to make a point to cut her.
Yeah, but he couldn't make that same point with the stewardess that he already had.
He wanted to make a bigger point, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. And that's when Cutter saw that, he knew it was real. He was like, this is not a normal situation. People just don't grab somebody randomly and just shoots them in the head.
No. Now, here's the thing. You know what? Because it is a jumbo plane, I guess, because like you said, I must not have been on one of those either, because this plane had a top level and a bottom level. And the bottom level was another one of his people. He's the one that sent up a gun to the stewardess, to Sabrina. And so when Wesley Snipes Cutter realizes, you know, this is all going sour, he grabs Alex, and heads downstairs through the dumbwaiter. And then he starts talking to that guy who she thinks is cool. And of course, this guy, you know, he starts talking, he pulls a knife on Cutter and gets messed up, and they tie him up. And now his plan is to cut the gas, dump the fuel, so they got to land the plane, which I also thought was interesting, because I was wondering, how is he going to take care of this situation from the bottom of the plane and everything is up top? Like, he's got to figure something out. So
that was smart. That was smart writing.
Yeah, it was interesting. It made everything pretty interesting, because Alex wasn't sure she's like, You're going to have them land the plane, and then what? Well, his idea was for both of them to get off. She was going to, because she knew the plane better than him, and she was going to go to the tower, and he was going to make his next move. But that didn't work out because one of the minions came down, kicked him off the plane. And then, this is how I knew that this was an older movie. They're in the boondocks of some southern area. And of course, 4 white hillbilly cops roll up on a black guy just thrown out of a plane. And what's the first thing they do? Tell him to get on the ground, put him in the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
That one killed me. I was like, oh, hell no.
Some things never change, Joe. Some things never change.
Man.
Reminded me of Tariq Hill, right? Reminded you of Tariq Hill.
Oh, that's a... Man. They released that video. Oh, my. That's...
Yes.
Literally, the video when it came up on one of my fantasy football things first, and it says, what if he wasn't Tariq Hill? How would this have gone? That's so bad. That's so terrible.
Yep.
And some people were on some of these forums trying to say, well, Miami police is a huge problem and they deal with a bunch of wackos every day. I'm like, I don't care.
It doesn't
He's
matter.
obvious. He's either a football fan or a football player. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, they wanted him
no
to
excuse.
keep his window down.
So
anyway,
he has to deal with all this BS. They bring him up to the tower. The chief of police of this area is talking junk to him. He's ready to shoot him. And then the terrorist, Payne, he tells the tower, hey, you got one of my guys talking about Cutter. That was crazy because he's like, go ahead and discipline him for me. So now they're ready to shoot him.
Right.
Luckily, he sent him away with 2 incompetent fools. How come I thought they handcuffed him?
I thought he was handcuffed in the beginning when they first got him, but by the time they got him to the tower, I don't remember.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he was handcuffed because when he started fighting, I thought he was going to get some keys. But once he started fighting, he broke both their holds, and then he got away. Mm-hmm. But then they sent all the police after him, and now Payne took 2 people off the plane while he was releasing 100 hostages, and he's going to make his getaway, and they're chasing down the good guy.
Now, this was stupid. I didn't understand this part. This is my other issue I have with the movie. Number one, why is Payne and his boys getting off the plane? They didn't have a plan because they weren't supposed to land. So they're walking across the runway, going toward a fair that they didn't know was there. That didn't make sense.
His whole plan was to get away. So now he's thinking, if I release the people, I take off when they're being released as a distraction. I get away. This is where he messed up.
I don't think he thought that because when they walked, because he still had some people on his people on the plane, and they were still fueling up the plane. And also, he was kind of just walking around, wandering around. And then also, how did Cutter even know he was going to the fair? He should have thought that he was still on the plane.
Cutter acted like he saw him walking away.
He couldn't have.
I know.
Couldn't have seen him.
But see, they were ready to get away, but he wanted to get Cutter. He was mad at Cutter. He could have got away and been long gone before SWAT, FBI, even the dumb hillbilly police officers found him. But he wanted Cutter. That's where he messed up, and that's where, if he would have just gotten that truck and left with his crew, he'd have been fine.
Yeah, he would have got away.
But he had to go after Cutter.
It would have been a nationwide manhunt for him, also. Yeah. But he probably would have found this plastic surgeon and changed his face again, like he was getting ready to do at the beginning of the movie anyway.
So instead, he goes after Cutter. Cutter takes out one of his guys. They recapture him. And then I'm going like, where's this going to go now? And now he's still has 100 hostages. So the plan is to let him back on the plane and take him out and his people out with the sniper. But they completely forgot about his other guy who somehow ends up with his own sniper rifle.
Well, he took he took the sniper rifle from the police snipers.
Oh, okay. Somehow I missed that.
So
okay, that makes more sense.
With this guy, if you pay attention with this guy, he's doing things, and they show us what he did because at the beginning of the movie, when everybody is getting on the plane, we see him like around baggage claim, like under the plane, and he's like loading stuff in the plane. If you look behind him, you see a man laid out on the ground. So that was a hint that he was a bad guy right there, right? And then with the snipers, we see Wesley talking with the sniper. Once they find out, like the sheriff and them, they find out that Cutter is a good guy because the FBI show up and they tell the sheriffs that Cutter is one of their guys. He's a good guy, and you guys had better not have heard him. But when he's talking with the sniper, we see him talking to the sniper. But then when the sniper takes out the 2 FBI agents, we see the snipers on the ground, and then we see that guy shooting them. So he came up behind the snipers, took them out, and then took their guns.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does. Wow, that's crazy. So now the new plan is Cutter's got to get back on this plane, and it's literally Casey Ryback trying to get on the train again.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It 100% was.
It's so funny, but I mean, it's crazy. It's a whole different movie, but it's the similarities were killing me. Like I'm sitting here just going, man. And I was like, you know what? He's got even a better name than Casey Ryback.
Cutter. John Cutter.
Like, man, Wesley Snipes is making you look bad, Steven. Like, come on, man. You got to step your game up. Yeah, I mean, nobody even knows this dude. Like you said, nobody really knows he's a martial artist. He's making you look bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. Be like Chuck Norris making Bruce Lee look like a fool. Be nuts. So he gets back on the plane, and I mean, pretty much from there, he just starts one by one, just taking everybody out. He takes out Sabrina. He takes out the other guy. I don't even know his name.
They didn't know he was back on the plane. They thought they
had no clue. Oh yeah,
they had no clue that he had got snuck on the plane from the landing gear. He got in through the wheel.
Alex tells him, do you need my help? Which, what? No, these are killers. He goes, no, there's only one left. And of course, he throws him out of the plane. Here's the part that kills me. You're not an FBI agent. You're not a police officer. You are just security. You throw a dude out of a plane, he dies, and then you're like, okay, I'm going on vacation. Bye. Who's filling out that paperwork?
I would have been like, we just hired you. What do you mean you're going on vacation? We literally just hired you yesterday.
Yeah.
And where was he walking
to?
Thank
God. He's walking to town. Walking to town, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, the sheriff told him like it's 5 miles. They didn't care. They were just gonna walk and talk. Like him and Alex were gonna walk together. So once again, the hero gets the girl. He doesn't know anything about this chick. He doesn't know nothing at all about her. And they're walking off into the sunset together. Happy.
They had a situation. They didn't like each other, and through all this craziness, I guess you just figure it out.
I mean, that was the formula for just about everything in the late 80s and early 90s. That is the formula. Yeah. We got to throw a girl in. We got to make sure they don't like each other at first, but we're going to put them together, and then they'll get together at the end of the movie. So
Speed, same thing. When was Speed? 92, 93, 94, something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, that was the formula back then. So
I gotta say, this was a very simple movie, but I really liked it. It was good. It was nothing too crazy. Some good action. He had some good one-liners. I had a good time with it. I'm gonna give it an A. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, me too, man. I also give it an A. I liked it a lot, man. Like I said, it would be cool if they did a remake. If they did a remake to this, Michael Jai White got to play John Cutter. If they did a remake to this.
Of course.
I can't think of anybody else who would be better.
And give Wesley a cameo.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And they might as well if they did it, they might as well let Michael John's wife play Alex also. Might as well.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We should tell Angel to mention that to him next time we see Michael.
Yeah, that's actually couldn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He probably has a story about Wesley or something not liking him though. I tell you, Michael John White, I like the dude, but he's always got a story about some people, and there's a lot of people he don't like.
Yeah. Well, when you're in Hollywood, I can believe that, man. It's a lot of unlikable people in Hollywood. So
I think Wesley Snipes should get some more martial art movie roles. I really like his martial arts was really good. I liked it a lot.
It was old school martial art. Because a lot of the fight scenes reminded me of one steps, and that's something that when we would do demonstrations, we probably would have took some of those moves and took some of those things that he did and put it into our one steps for demonstrations. Yeah.
It's just a good application of what you teach, especially when you can show it in situational needs like that.
And also, it didn't look fake either. Like it looked like these are actual moves that could have been done in a real fight, a real situation like this. It wasn't like he jumped up in the air and spun around a bunch of times and then threw a kick. It was realistic, fighting scenes, so it's pretty cool. I like it.
Do you have something coming up? Because I got a couple.
No, it's on you, man. You pick. Let me know.
I looked through a few things, and it's gonna get a little crazy, but it's perfect timing because two of them are on Max right now, and I think the one is on Prime. If you can stand it, it's a Jason Statham movie marathon a little bit. Crank 1 and Crank 2 are on Max, and The Beekeeper I heard was really good is on Prime right now.
Well, let's do the Cranks first, Crank 1 and 2, and then we'll do the other ones after that.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this right now. No, I'm just gonna warn you. Crank is a really good movie.
Okay.
It's very well done. It's got a lot of good action. It's a little bit crazy. It's wild.
Okay.
The second movie goes off the rails. The second movie is, I don't even know what to say about it. It goes really insane. But the first one I really enjoyed. So I'm just telling you that right now. And then The Beekeeper, I haven't seen The Beekeeper yet. That's his newer one. That just came out of theaters a few months ago.
Now,
I heard it was really good.
Are these supposed to be like martial arts movies, or are these supposed to be more so like Transporter? Just action movies with him doing stuff.
Well, I think it's more of an action movie, but he's doing martial arts in them.
Okay. All right.
Because that's the first thing my mother-in-law's husband told me about The Beekeeper, and I said, "Is he doing martial arts?" Because he was talking about doing. I'm like, because if he's not doing any martial arts, because The Beekeeper sounds, but he said, "No, he's doing some martial arts." I was like, "Okay, I hope so," because
that's an interesting title for a movie, The Beekeeper. Or an action movie, because I'm not thinking martial arts movie or action movie when I hear something called The Beekeeper.
Apparently, he's like a former military. And like beekeeping calms them or something like that, and then everything goes off the rails from there. So I guess I said the same thing. I was like, is this like some kind of sci-fi movie? Like he's gonna be like Swarm from Marvel or something? But no.
Oh, okay, all right. Anything else?
No, man, I'm good.
Cool. All right, cool. So we didn't go over the hour mark. So Travis should be happy with that.
Very
all
good.
right, cool. Well, that's it for this episode. Everyone stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.